gosh. Okay. Finally. What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the Ageless Wonder, the man Lincoln Clay, coming back at you with another hot lap. And boy, this was a nightmare to try to set this thing up. Simply put, I don't think my PC can handle everything that I was trying to do. I had to do this in VR. Naturally, I got to open the Oculus app. And then I bought the game through Steam, so I got to launch it through Steam to be able to play it in VR. So I got two apps open right there, Steam and Oculus. Then I had to open OBS so I can stream it. And then I had to go into my web browser to find my stream, pop out the chat so I can put it inside the car with me so I can see the comments while I'm racing. All that was just too much for my computer to handle, and the whole thing just ended up freezing, so I just had to shut the computer off. So I guess I'll just have to go back to the old-fashioned way of doing things and just simply checking the chat periodically. So first off, let me start by apologizing because I know on Saturday after I got done with the GT Sport hot lap, I was going to come right over to Project Cars 2 and do a hot lap, but I ended up hooking up with Salsa Ketchup, and we spent about an hour and a half monkeying around with Project Cars 2 and a set of Corsa Competizione. We never did go through the head-to-head race because he simply does not know Project Cars 2 the way I do. And then when we tried to go over to a set of Corsa Competizione to race, friends can't join each other. The only way you can join each other is if somebody has to somebody has to get their own server. Whether you get your own server or rent one from the game or whatever. So we couldn't even race together on a set of Corsa. And so we just monkeyed around trying to help each other with our with our techniques and stuff. So we putted around some tracks, trying to help each other out, trying to figure out the best way to take lines and that kind of stuff. So, and by the time we got done, it was just simply too late. So I ended up going to bed. But I will say that I do plan on doing a few more of these hot lap videos, and the reason why I say that is because I've been going through GT Sport, Project Cars 2, and a set of Corsa Competizione, and I've been trying to find out which track all three of these games have and which car all three of these games have, so I can use that car on a particular track and then try to see what kind of hot laps I can get on each game. So actually, yeah, we got 0, so it's just me on here. So that's where we're sitting on here. Let me check the chat real quick before we get into this. Okay, so now that we got all that stuff out of the way, I think we can go ahead and get to this hot lap. I think something to bear in mind is that one thing I found out about the cars on Project Cars 2 is you'll pick a particular car and it'll tell you what the top speed is of that car, but I can never reach the top speed of that car. And so it looks to me like you'll have to go to your pit crew and tell them what you want the car to do. Like you want more top end speed, and then they'll make an adjustment on the car for you, but it will come at the expense of something else. So if I want more top end speed, it'll probably come at the expense of acceleration because they have to adjust the gear rate, adjust the gears on the car and so forth. If I want the car to take corners better, then they'll adjust the wings and spoilers and that kind of stuff, but it'll come at the expense of it'll probably come at the expense of losing top end speed because the car's been brought down closer to the ground, that kind of stuff. So with that being said, I don't know if I'll be able to turn in the same time that I turned in on GT Sport, because on this track, using this particular car, I turned in a time of 3 minutes and 28 seconds. And because I haven't been able to get this car up to top speed, this car supposedly tops out at like 205 miles an hour. And remember, this first lap is just going to be a fill-out lap. One thing is for certain, is this game is much, much more clear. And I turned off the mirrors too, and so the only mirror you can see is the one above me, I believe. What am I doing as far as time goes? So again, the second or the third lap is where I plan to make my move. Did 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Little hiccup there for a second. $349. I don't think I'm gonna get much better than that because the car never hit 200 miles an hour. If I'm gonna get any faster than that, I'm gonna end up having to take chances. I'll do this last lap to see what happens. Oh, I bet you I know what it is. This car's a hybrid. So I probably got to find out how to switch it on.
That is your fastest first second time. Keep it up.
probably gonna get hit with a penalty because at some point I got to go into the pits because I think I turned that on.
Box now. If you don't come in now, you'll be disqualified.
I'm not going into the pits. Because I know I'm turning in a better lap now than I did the last one, so I want to see what it's going to come out to be. .343. I did knock off 6 seconds, but it's still nowhere near close to what I did. All right, let's come back to the and just like that. All right, let's come back to the chat. Okay, so 343, that's the best I could do. So I think what it ended up being with this hybrid, because with it being a hybrid, it also has electric motors too. So I think what I was probably supposed to do was on the straightaways, turn on the electric motors, and that would give me a boost that I think would send the car over 200 miles an hour. And I think I need to figure out how to do that if it's possible to do that. And then I think I can turn in a better time because the bottom line is the top end speed was the bottom line. I was only able to get about 183 on the Molson straights out of this car on Project Cars 2, but I was able to get about 205 miles an hour top end on the Molson straights on GT Sport. And I think in the case of GT Sport, you don't have to do anything to make the electric motors kick in. The game just does it all for you. And I think that's part of what make people feel like that game is arcadey. And I think with this game, I'm going to have to figure out how to turn on like I said, how to turn on the electric motors on the straightaway. So that's something that I'm going to have to work on. I'm still going to do some more hot laps. Like I said, there's a couple other tracks, and there's like a couple of cars that I can use across all 3 games. So I'm going to do some more hot laps. And after I get done knocking these hot lap videos out, then I'm probably going to scale back a little bit on these racing sim videos until it's time for me to do the 24 laps at Le Mans. So with that being said, thanks for watching, everybody. I think I ran a pretty damn good lap. And the fact of the matter is, I think if it wasn't for the top end speed, if I would have been able to break 200 miles an hour on the straightaways or on the long winding road, I think I could have turned in a time of at least under 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So even with the good bit of driving that I did, I was still able to shave off 6 seconds from lap 3 versus lap 4. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for coming to the Wakanda Raceway. It is already 6:30. I have not eaten yet, nap and all that kind of stuff. So I'll be coming back this week with more hot lap videos between all 3 games: GT Sport, Project Cars 2, and a set of course of competizione. So keep your eyes open for that. I appreciate everybody watching. That's it. I'm gonna boogie on out of here. I will catch everybody later. Y'all have a good one. Deuces.